Oh, hi there. There's a few things I wanted to explain. I haven't had the time or the space to do so. Okay, here's how it goes. About a year and a half ago, I walked past this kind of cosmetic beauty shop where they sell facial creams and that sort of stuff. I was actually on my way to a different store. I mean, I'm a dude. I don't usually, go into that sort of stuff. Anyway, this chick comes running out, a little Russian chick, like a firecracker. Um, a bit bubbly, but, I didn't mind her. I knew it was, some sort of trap, I suppose. But I went in there anyway, listened to what she had to say, and she was like, "Do you want to purchase these beauty products?" And she gave me some sort of a facial massage or something like that. At the time, I had a vague notion of what I was doing, but I didn't really clue in until much later, actually. Well, I wasn't able to put it into, easy to digest terms, easy to understand. I made the comparison on my Facebook that it was like Mickey and the Beanstalk, and I was thinking of this Russian chick as the Golden Harp. Because I know that my social life at that point was bare minimum. Like, it really didn't seem to matter where I was or who I talked to. They were either in a bubble of their own, or, they were not going to say anything to me. So I was in quite the predicament. It was funny because I actually was talking to a different chick beforehand, and she told me to avoid her like the plague, which was sound advice. And under normal circumstances, I would have listened to her, but I didn't, because there were things I didn't have the time to explain to her, and in order for me to advance my project, I had to be friendly with another woman when the opportunity arose. And little Russian chick, she was, very good at that time. I mean, I wasn't, I didn't plan that or anything. It just sort of happened. And I didn't think of it as, using her at that particular time either. I still don't think of it that way anyway. So anyway, I'm in the beauty parlor, and she's trying to get me to buy this like really expensive stuff, right? Like, it was overly priced. I would assume she was going to get a lot in the way of what's it called when they make money from selling you something? Well, I'm really okay. Yeah. So anyway, she's selling me these creams and stuff like that, right? And it comes to it was, what was it? $1,400 the first day, and then she like gives me her email and her phone number, and of course she's like emailing me like the next day, like first thing, right? Saying, "Oh, you can come back here," yeah, and like the chump I was going, "Hey, this isn't too bad." I got a hug out of her. That was kind of nice, because I'm not used to being touched by females. like ever. So that's kind of a big deal for me. I went back there like 4 days later and spent another 1,300, so it was 2,700 bucks altogether for creams, facial masks, like some sort of massage, like thing. It was like a metal thing. I don't even know what it is. I haven't even looked at it in quite a while. And the reason I'm using Mickey and the Beanstalk as a metaphor for it is like I didn't even try to explain to my brother why I bought it. Like he wigged out when he heard 2,700 bucks and this stuff and all that, and he just, you know, there were a lot of things he just didn't get, and he wouldn't have the time to or patience to listen, and he wouldn't understand things from my perspective. Because the thing is, this chick was really, you know, she was a big help for me in the psychological sense that it was able to prove certain theories I had. Yes, the Little Russian chick was a total gold digger, absolutely. And like she spoke English well enough to be here, and I had heard later that you know, Eastern European and Russian women do anything for money, and you know, I don't have that much first-hand experience dealing with Russians, but I don't know, she seemed nice enough and all that, and you know, this was in my town, so I figured, you know, how bad could it be? But the place was called Adore, and I used metaphorical applications to imply that I was having some sort of mind confusion thing where I wasn't totally understanding the situation, which is kind of true actually, because it's taken me, you know, a year and a half for me to make this video. When if I'd, you know, been able to put the pieces together sooner, I think I'd have made it sooner. Yeah, the store was called Adore. Miley Cyrus has a song called Adore. So I'm trying to make the, you know, the metaphorical applications. And this all stems from me actually wanting to, you know, meet celebrities and pop stars like Miley Cyrus and things like that, but, you know, not be intrusive or anything, but, you know, just kind of be there, say hi, what's going on, and you know, don't really interfere or anything like that. Just not like a fly on the wall, but, you know, like just kind of, I don't know, being on the cool scene where things are happening, and, you know, it's kind of interesting, even if it's, you know, just me trying to make my boring life a little bit more interesting to me, because I feel very isolated here. Like, I am quite immobile because of my sore throat. It's hard to travel, and because of that, like, I get the feeling it's almost like, I want to say Shutter Island in a metaphorical sense, but, you know, I don't call it that. I call it Shutter, and then the next word I'm not going to tell you because I don't want you to know where I live. But it's like that, kind of. That's what it feels like to me a lot of the time, because it's eerily unnatural that things like that can happen, and there's seemingly no anything afterwards. Because the thing is with this Russian chick is I played it cool. I played it like, yeah, my dad was a sergeant master, blah blah blah. And it wasn't a total lie. It was my grandfather that was, but that part of it I couldn't explain really. And I mean, I had my packet of Iraqi playing cards. She wanted the Saddam Hussein playing card, but there was no way I was giving her that. I gave her Ten of Kings. I forget which one. Some dude with a mustache, but I guess all the Iraqi military officials have mustaches, so whatever. She was quite happy with that, and with the $2,700, I would presume. Anyway, you may go, well, how does any of that benefit you? Well, when chicks find stupid guys that have money, who aren't bad looking like me, I suppose, they have a tendency to talk about it. It becomes news for them, and we swapped emails, right? So she knew my Facebook. I'm very active on Facebook, as far as I knew. Never got one response from her. I did put my my YouTube accounts on Facebook, not this YouTube account, but my other YouTube accounts. So she will not see this video I've made, but I got hundreds of other ones she can go watch if she were at all interested. To me, it's important to keep my potential girlfriend situation to a minimum. That way, things just don't get out of hand. Because really things can, I know, like Justin Bieber, for example, like I have heard a few times that, he's supposed to, get with 50,000 women, and, if you're a Glenn Quagmire type, that sounds really great, but 50,000 women, that's 50,000 problems minimum. So it's not as good as you think. You don't want to be promiscuous in today's world. This is what I'm saying, and I don't want people to misinterpret me and figure that oh, this guy, he hasn't had his balls fondled ever by anyone but himself. He's only kissed a chick once, Asian chick, and it wasn't really kissing, it was more like her sucking my face, and that was only for like, I don't know, probably 10 minutes at a party. Anyway, not going to get into that. Yeah, that Asian chick I don't want to see again. She was a bitch. Anyway, and you may go, whoa, how are you going to associate all this with promoting your channel and then perhaps meeting, perhaps famous people, and also not be a creep about it? Somehow it worked. I don't know how. I think the years I spent, having booze in front of, like drinking alcohol and being on my own and being in front of the computer, maybe some subliminal messages got in my head. I don't know. I try not to let that affect me now, but obviously if people are going to say things and they sound specifically geared towards you, then it's a little creepy. But anyway, forget about that part. Me, Kamira, and Mickey and the Beanstalk to Miley Cyrus's song Adore. I did it for a few reasons. One, the place was called Adore. Miley Cyrus may or may not have any financial dealings with that particular beauty shop. I don't know. In fact, when you're dealing with that kind of money, you have no idea. As a matter of fact, like, a lot of people think, well, because I work in a grocery store, right? They think, well, this grocery store is different from this grocery store, blah, 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 blah. And they are on lower levels. Like, they still work for the same organization that gathers all the food and then distributes it amongst different stores. That's why you will go into one particular grocery store and they'll have things there that are way better priced, way better quality, and then they'll have something else that's disproportionately more expensive, and you go, well, why isn't there more of a median? It's because they're been pitted against each other for competition. That's how grocery stores work, so I would assume it's very similar as far as beauty product stores go. So that in mind, Miley Cyrus, obviously she's one of the queens of pop. She's up there, up to the upper echelon of society. She probably has some hands in that cookie jar. I would think, but as I said, when you're dealing with that kind of money, you have no idea. They don't tell you anything. And if the news says X amount of money was spent here or lost there in stocks or whatever, don't believe a word of it. It's all, you can't trust it. That is a really bizarre story and a really weird way of thinking of things. And, I really like that Russian chick, but I'd be, not pleased if, the Illuminati went after her afterwards. I didn't think of it that way, but certainly not at the time and not now, but I am starting to, wonder about it. Because, that'd be bullshit if I got blamed for that. Absolute bullshit. Unbelievable. Like, I could imagine being called a user and all that sort of stuff, and I'm going, hey, wait a minute. I bought $2,700 worth of product, walked out of there with no more than a few hugs, and then I went about my lifestyle much the same as I have done for many years, and somehow I'm still the bad guy. The fuck, man? What the hell? And this a thing I couldn't explain to the other chick who, she kind of stopped talking to me, but, it was not that she wanted me to go away sort of way, but it was almost like she was inhibited from being able to talk to me, because people, they use psychology and manipulation on people, and, I didn't have the time and space to explain things to her, unfortunately. I mean, even going on a date at a coffee shop is like big deal for me. Because, I'm probably starting to sound like one of these old kooks in science fiction movies where they come up with this great invention on something and they're disconnected from the world and they just sound so strange. The Russian chick was comparable in looks towards Miley Cyrus as well. I think that may have played a factor. I do really like her still, even though she was, pretty much, from her perspective, she was kind of using me, but, well, obviously she got $2,700 out of me, so, that was something. But, I can look past that because I think it may have helped promote my YouTube channel. And, like, $2,700 was obviously, a significant chunk of money. But, I think it was well worth spending. Besides, I could use some skin toners anyway. I'm quite pale in areas where I should be a little more tanned. It's just, I do not want to go outdoors until I work out a bit more. And that's the other problem with having a sore throat. It zaps your ability to want to work out and things like that, because like if my neck wasn't sore, I'd be working out like so much, like I was back in high school. Yeah, because I wouldn't. I'm not sure which body type I would prefer. Like me myself, I want to be a bit more muscular, or if I want to get a more slender kind of look. Because actually, this T-shirt that I've decided to wear, I have a few Miley Cyrus T-shirts that I bought that I haven't worn. You know, I've been in the plastic bags for 3-4 months. This one's like really tight on me. Like I can't even lift my arms up any more than that, or it's like it really could rip the shirt. So ideally I'd give this to my girlfriend, I suppose, if I ever get one. 31 years of age and I've never been with a woman. Unbelievable. But it happens. Somehow in this weird world that actually happens. That's actually a thing. Don't ask me how. I only know from my perspective. I suspect it's bureaucrats. I think that's the reason. If you want my opinion. Yeah. I'm at a loss for words to how to explain this. And my throat's, a little bit sore. One of my doctors recommended ice cream, so, have some ice cream. I got some ice cream here. I usually try to make it a point not to eat in front of the camera. I mean, I've had a few beers in front of the camera, but I don't usually eat in front of the camera, and that's because of reasons. But realistically, if the Illuminati was watching my videos, it's entirely possible that they've seen me eat in public anyway, as a hypothetical. So, I mean, there wouldn't be anything I could do to avoid that anyway, but most certainly strawberry ice cream would not be something I would normally eat in front of a camera. But honest to God, I get it in the real world, how am I going to avoid, like being in a situation where, I don't know, if I'm drinking a Frappuccino or doing this or doing that. I mean, there have been plenty of times where I've been crouched over, wearing a tight t-shirt, and my backside's been showing and things like that, and I've been in unflattering positions. There's not anything you can do when you're dealing with people with that much resources. So anyway, what's the harm of having a little bit of ice cream? Whatever, man. I am hesitant to do that because one thing I emphasized in a lot of my videos was that the video picture quality was like it didn't have high megapixels, so people couldn't draw faces on me and do the Snapchat thing and all that sort of stuff. I inhibited them from doing that on purpose because I was concerned that I was going to be made mocked of. And now that I'm eating strawberry ice cream, wearing a Miley Cyrus t-shirt, being mocked at this point seems rather unavoidable. Yeah, none of this would be possible without my dad though, so I really got to thank him for it. I mean, I wouldn't have had the financial resources to pursue this avenue of career option. I've been able to borrow pictures he had of when he met rockers, way back in the 80s and the 70s, to sort of add a little bit of steam to my channel. I was unaware of an Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode called I Am a Pod until recently. Because like when I thought of Aqua Teen before, I used to think of Ghost of Christmas Past, Robo Sitter, T-shirt of the Living Dead, Boost Mobile, or other good Aqua Teens. Because the thing is, I usually only have time to watch only a few episodes of one series, and that's it. And also, there are a lot of really bad episodes of Aqua Teen. It's different writers. I hate how they destroyed the Cybernetic Ghost of Christmas Past in the movie. Oh, that was terrible. That hurt. That really was. It really wasn't cool. Oh, Turkatron. That was another good one. Well, anyway, I said I was going to eat this ice cream, so hopefully some pervert doesn't get off on this, but how am I going to avoid it at this point? I'm socially isolated by bureaucrats. I've got a sore throat constantly, like every day. Is eating a little bit of ice cream in front of a camera really the worst thing? I wish somebody could answer that question, but I'll just assume it's not. But I am going to check the camera afterwards, because if I'm not eating this ice cream to my liking, I'm going to edit that part out. Alright, well, this shouldn't be such a big deal, but it is. Okay, it's just strawberry ice cream. You can relax. Alright. Yeah, not a big deal at all, but do not take this out of context. Any YouTube fan, do not do that. Yeah, that would be unfavorable for me. Oh, I'm so gonna get made fun of over this. Oh well. Well, yeah, so what else did I want to say? Yeah, I really liked the Russian chick. I mean, even though she blatantly used me, but in kind of a forgivable sort of way. Yeah, so, I'm able to understand, interpret things that have happened, and, I got a different perspective of things, and certain things, they don't really bother me too much. However, it was sound advice to have been told to avoid her like the plague. I just wished I'd had, a few hours to explain to her exactly what is going on in my head, because, I just didn't have the time and space to do so. Yeah, so this may help in my quest to have a higher understanding, meet the higher echelon of society, and also not get shipped to a place I don't want to go to. like I've said in other videos, or one time actually, I said I love Lady Gaga, and I do, but with a lot of things into consideration, that like she is a very intimidating, very scary woman, and I'm not going in there, like a fish out of water. That's not happening. I'm not going to get surprised or snuck up on or anything like that. That would frighten me terribly. So if anyone has questions, feel free to ask me so I can construct better videos and be able to, properly articulate what it is I have to say. So anyway, just in this video, just to sum it up, spent $2,700 on beauty products because I believed that it would grow a branch up to the upper echelon of society where I can meet a golden harp and therefore bring happiness and prosperity to my little kingdom. Anyway, that's what I got, and I suppose I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. When I say guys, that, you know, it's just a phrase, okay? It doesn't, don't take it out of context.